10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Injection, fellas.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Dum-dum-da-da. Dum-dum-da-da. Da-ya-ya-ya-da. Da-da-da. Whoa. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. 'Cause even though at times got rough, you never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, you. Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We might watch our whole lives pass us by. Let's don't wait till the water runs dry. We'll make the biggest mistake of our lives. Don't do it, baby. Here comes the winter breeze that chills the air and drifts the snow. And I imagine kissing you under the mistletoe. When autumn sheds the leaves, the trees are bare. When you're not here, it doesn't feel the same. Ooh. Can we go back to the days our love was strong? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way they used to be? Oh God, give me a reason. I'm down on bended knee. I'm doing just fine, getting along very well without you in my life. Close your eyes, make a wish, and blow out the candlelight. For tonight is just your night. We're gonna celebrate all through the night.
Light the fire, girl, your wish is my command. I submit to your demands. I will do anything
Round and
you
around
need
and
only.
although we've come to the end of the road, still I can't let go.
It's unnatural. You belong to me. I belong to you.
Ooh, mama, mama, you know I love you. Ooh, I love mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Mama, I just want you to know, loving you is like food to my soul.
Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say.
And I know you're shining down on me from heaven. Like so many friends we've lost along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together once we date.
How do I say goodbye to what we had?
The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad.
And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so to yesterday.
Get raw. Here I am, R.A.W., a terrorist, here to bring trouble to phony MCs. I move on and seize, I just conquer and stop another rapper with ease. Cause I'm at my apex and others are below, nothing but a milliliter. I'm a kilo, second to none, making MCs run, so don't try to step to me, cause I ain't the one. I believe rappers just like Tylenol, and they know it, so I don't see why you all try to front, perpetrating a stunt, when you know that I smoke you up like a blunt. I'm genuine like Gucci, raw like sushi. This age of rage is what rap did to me, to make me wanna create chaos and mayhem, cold rock a party until the AM. I'll make a muscle, grab the mic and hustle. While you stand dazed and amazed, I'll bust a little rhyme with authority, superiority, and captivate the whole crowd's majority. The rhymes I use definitely amuse, better than Dynasty or Hill Street Blues. I'm sure to score and door for more without a floor, cause I get raw. Like a reverend, rapper star severing, and in my lifetime, believe I've never been beaten or eaten and just tooken out. You know, come to think about it, I keep MCs looking out and real nervous when I'm at your service. So give me that title, boy, you don't deserve this. I work like a slave to become a master, and when I say a rhyme, you know that it has to be perfectly fitted, cause I'm committed. The entertainer and trainer and Kane will get with it. I go and flow and grow to let you know I damage you. I'm not an amateur, but a professional, unquestionable, without doubt superb. So full of action, my name should be a verb. My voice will float on every note when I clear my throat. That's all she wrote. The minute that the cane starts to go on, believe it's gonna be smooth sailing, so on. As I put other rappers out of their misery, get them in a battle and make them more history. Ruling and schooling MCs that I'm dueling, watch them all take a fall as I sit back cooling on my throne with the bronze microphone. God bless the child that can hold his own, cause I get raw.
Ain't it good, Jimmy? 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 Ain't it good, Jimmy?
24/7 chillin', killer like a villain. The meaning of raw is ready and willing to do whatever is clever. Take a loss never, and the rhymes I bust coming off is a must, and I come off hard with rhymes that are odd. I rip the microphone and leave it scarred. Never smoking or hitting or taking a sniff. Only crushing MCs that be trying to rip. I get strong and titanic, do work like a mechanic, make MCs panic. They all get frantic and skeptic, like a girl on a contraceptic. As I rock, but hey, what you expected? I'll get raw for you just like a warrior, rather like a samurai. And I'll be damned if I ever let a Fisher Price MC hang. The rhyme's a toy, nothing but yin yang. So if we battle on the microphone, bring your own casket in Tombstone, and I'ma preach your funeral. Tell me who in the world could ever come with more. I get raw.
Ain't it good, Jimmy?
24/7 chill.
What's good? Let's get right to it, man. My apologies. I was texting, waiting for the right time to come in. What's good? How's everybody feeling today? Welcome. It is Monday, November the 6th. I have to make a confession real fast, okay, before we get started. Can you guys hear me okay? I have to tell you right now, this side of my face right now is completely numb. So if you see my face looking, if you see me moving my mouth a little bit different, no offense to those that may have gone through this, I'm not having a stroke. Okay, I'm not having a stroke. Don't think that I'm different. I just came from the dentist. I mean, I've been here an hour. They told me that it would wear off in a couple hours. I'm not new to the dentist, all right? I just very seldom come to the show and get right on right after I visit the dentist. And I had quite a bit of work done today. I got my cleaning done. Of course, that don't really mess you up. I had my cleaning done today. And for those that know, I wear braces. All right, I wear braces at the bottom. I had my braces realigned, and I also had a filling put in, all in one trip. Let me just say this to you. In Florida, they get to it. If you need cosmetic surgery, if you need, dentistry, whatever, they do it. Listen, it's so competitive here that these guys, and by the way, just for those that care to know, I use a black dentist here in Florida and in Cincinnati, Dr. Bronson in Cincinnati, Dr. Keith in Florida. And hey, today was a day that I knew I had a dentist appointment today, but I didn't think that I was going to have to go through numbing and all that type of stuff today. So if you see me talking like I'm not regular or my mouth is to the side, I can't feel this side of my face. And it feels like I got something in my mouth. So, like I'm biting on ice or something. You know what I mean? I got this feel. I want to get right to it. I got time today. I'm home alone. Well, I got my dog with me. And I'd like to get something off my chest because I got a feeling, y'all. I'm not teasing about this. I have a feeling that today is going to be my last 1 p.m. or whatever you want to call it, the Wyatt Live show. Today is probably going to be the last show for good reason. I feel sad about it, but I want to thank everybody that's been here for 3.5 years with me. And the reason why is because it take a lot to listen to my shit every day. It take a lot to be able to listen to something that you talk about, maybe pillow talk, or you talk about to your girlfriend or to your wife or to your husband or something like that amongst each other, or you sit there and you tell your kids exactly what we talk about here, but you're not brave enough to say that shit out loud in front of everybody else like I do. And this ain't about me. We need more people that's more vocal. And you know what's crazy about the people that's not as vocal? They're super vocal when it comes down to certain things. It amazes me that we're okay by allowing certain people to get in front of us and push fake ass narratives. I mean, fake narratives. They use a little bit of truth to push a narrative that's completely false. All right, and I'm gonna expose it today. I'm gonna show pictures. I'm gonna show names. I'm gonna call out people. I'm gonna say it all today. And I'm gonna tell you something. After that, I'm gonna take my black ass to the beach, and I'm gonna chill, and I'm gonna wish everybody was there with me. And then after I leave the beach, I'm gonna come home, take a shower, and then I'm gonna sit at the pool, and I'm gonna watch the game tonight, and I'm gonna fucking chill like I'm supposed to because of the work I put in my life. Everything that I've ever done for my people, I've always tried to spread the love. So what? It come with criticism. I ain't never played on a team where a coach was soft and I was successful. I ain't never been on a team where the coach was okay with us losing. I don't want to be on a team like that. I don't want a participation trophy, damn it. I want a first place trophy. Trennis Brown said, Popeye said the game was yesterday. I watch more than the Bengals, bro. It's Monday Night Football tonight. The hell? I don't want to be part of a team that always come in second and third and fourth place, damn it. I don't want a blue ribbon. Excuse me. I don't want a red ribbon. I don't want a pink ribbon. I don't want all them greens and all that old participation shit, damn it. I want a first place ribbon. And I'm just going to be honest with you. In order to get my point across, sometimes I got to get raw. I got to tell you the truth. I am going to show y'all today. And I'm going to make my point, and y'all ain't going to mess with me no more. I promise you. You're not going to mess with me anymore. And I'm okay with that, damn it. I lost a whole lot of friends in the last 3.5 years. And I don't even want to call them friends. I lost a lot of associates, people that I thought was cool. People that I thought was like, and what they did, they fell back off of me because I talked too much. They didn't know I talked so damn much. Well, when the truth come and I'm seeing some bullshit go down, yeah, I'm not the one that walk down the halls of the courtroom and yell and say that shit that happened in there wasn't fair. That's not me. That's not what I do. But God gave me something. He gave me a talent. He gave me patience. He gave me the ability. He gave me the ability to relate to people in their minds and the ability to not be afraid. And that's the first step. And y'all gonna think I'm crazy, man, but you know how people say they talk to God and shit like that? I used to think people was crazy when they be like, well, God told me. I used to think the shit was nuts. Like, what the fuck? What? God ain't told you shit. God ain't told you nothing. And then I had to grow up. This was 20 years ago. I had to grow up and understand, how does God talk to a mother? I found out when trials and tribulations start hitting me in my own personal life. I start understanding how God actually talks to people. He don't come down and be like, what did Eddie Murphy do in The Golden Child? Where is the lamb? He ain't do that. He talks to you by the people that he puts in front of you. He talked through them, the good ones and the bad ones. He put people in your life to teach you lessons. That's how I understand God. He speaks to me like that. So y'all could figure out your way. Figure out your way of how you need to hear it. But here's what I want to share with y'all today. I've said a lot of shit in the last 3.5 years. I'm here to show you what I've been saying is real. I'm here to show you the proof. You got an 11-year-old little boy that died this weekend. I call him a little boy because that's what I'm old enough to do. My neighborhood. That's down on John Street. That's Wade and all that area. That's my neighborhood. All these people in here talking all that old shit. You don't know nothing about down the way. Y'all don't know nothing about that shit. You don't know nothing about it. You don't know nothing about it. Y'all don't know what be going on. You don't know. You just talking shit because the media tell you one thing, black leadership tell you another thing. Y'all don't know. Y'all used to just come downtown to have fun. Y'all didn't come down there you wasn't really in the midst of no shit. And if you was always the first one that they got banged in the head. You was just a visitor. I'm about to put you in spot right now. I'm about to really lose a few. I'm about to lose them. And it's today is the day. I don't care anymore. I'm home for the winter. Fuck it. It is what it is. If you don't like me anymore or love me anymore or whatever, okay. Like I said, I lost a lot of people in the last 3.5 years from me starting Wyatt Live, opposing, not necessarily disagreeing with everything that somebody said, but I might give a different perspective. So today is the day. Today is the day we either gonna get or get off the pot. And what's amazing to me, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about by now, what's amazing to me is people can come to you. They can sit up in front of cameras. They can go to black radio. They can come to the black community and say the same thing that they've been saying for 20 years of pain and suffering in the black community, and say the same thing. This has to stop. We got to put jobs in the community. We got to do this. They've been saying that shit for 30 years. I mean, this is a dog chasing his tail to the fullest degree, and the dog just don't freaking have a clue that it's his own damn tail that he's chasing. You got a mayor of Cincinnati who goes on black radio a month ago or whatever it was, and he tell you to your damn face. He tell you to your face. Ain't no gangs in the city of Cincinnati. Same mayor that told you when he won that night, I told you, in his acceptance speech at that nightclub or whatever, the bar or wherever it was, you had black podcasters kissing his ass and all this old shit to get closer to their dreams. Everybody want to think that he the savior of your community. That man is using the community just like they've been doing. He get up to his acceptance speech and he says, I am going to make sure that all 52 communities in Cincinnati are safe. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember that? I've been saying it for 2 years now. Let me tell you something. I got a receipt right now. Is Princess Flower here today? Is Princess here? Is she here? I got a receipt right now. I told y'all that they only put 10% of the crime in the city on the news. They only put 10%. You don't even hear half the shit. Y'all think that that was the only shooting over the weekend in Cincinnati? There go Princess Flower right there. She said, yes, I'm here. Princess Flower, can you co-sign this for me, babe? I mean, I'm not trying to put you on blast, but it happened over by your house. Was there not a murder over in that area just the other night? Did the news media show up? Were the newspaper people there? Do the city of Cincinnati know about that murder? The dead body that was found in your area? Do they know about that? Has that been on Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 12, Channel 19? Has that been on the mainstream media in the city of Cincinnati yet? Do you know how often that happens and it don't hit the news? Do you know how many robberies and shit that happen in OTR at them places down there, at them bars and all that old shit? Do you know how many people get robbed down there? Do you know how many cars get broken into down there? Happens every day. Every day, all night. She says, Princess says, yes, yesterday a murder on my street. No news crew was here. The only reason why you hear about this 11-year-old little boy that got shot and the 5 others is because it was a mass shooting. It was a mass shooting and an 11-year-old. If they didn't have to tell you about it, they wouldn't. Because they know what the real issue is, and I've been trying to tell y'all what the real issue is. Not one of these politicians, when the news cameras came out, you see how they all, they took a family portrait, did they not? Come on, Earl, get your motherfucking, come on, Avtab, get your ass on here. Squeeze in, girl. Come on, man. We got to show unity in this fucking mess. Come on. Everybody get in the picture. Everybody get in the picture. Gather around, damn it. Come on. Everybody, you can even see, it was a picture moment. You had a face coming in the background of the shit. I'm going to play the video for you because you think I'm lying. You ain't tired of that faking, perping ass shit yet? Nah, you not. I don't know why you don't see what I see. I don't know why you don't see what most people see. I'm just brave enough to tell you what it really is. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. I know. Sean D. Nutter said this. Sean D. Nutter said, the shooting made ABC national news here in Atlanta. I told the people in the Wyatt Live message group, I said, congratulations, Cincinnati. You just made the national news. It was on everywhere but where they don't want to show black people shooting shit and shooting each other. CNN didn't show it. CNN didn't show it. MSNBC ain't talking about it. Joe Biden ain't came to the city yet. He ain't said, he ain't came and said nothing about it. Because you know what's on his mind. You know what he got you focused on. 11-year-old little boy dies in Cincinnati by drive-by. I'm going to put this one, I'm going to tell you what I feel about it. Joe Biden tells black people that their number one problem in America is white supremacy. I think I've said that on every show since he said it. If I ain't said it, I was certainly thinking it. I can't believe we're not outraged when a white boy come on TV and say some shit like that to us when we know damn well what our problems are in our neighborhood. We know damn well what the true problem is. Not one politician that stood in front of that camera over the weekend, not one of them said anything about parents. Not one of them said anything about accountability. They're all talking about this is a damn shame from the shooter. And they had the nerve to say, just turn yourself in. See, they not even from that. How the hell you in charge of the streets? And you say some goofy ass shit. See, I'm going to say it. A lot of motherfuckers ain't going to say it. I'm going to say it. How you going to say some goofy ass shit like that? Just turn yourself in before we have to come get you, and then we going to provide, we going to have justice. What little dude right now you think was involved in that little shit right there is thinking about turning himself in? You really think he has a conscience of, yeah, I'm going to turn myself in on Tuesday? Here's the other thing. And then I'm going to bring my receipts. Your mayor goes to black radio. And they talk about that shooting. He's supposed to be there for 30 minutes. I don't keep track, but I think he's supposed to be there for like 30 minutes. He came late. You ain't that busy, bro. I know you're not that busy. Shit costs too much for you to be that busy. You ain't working no ends. You just there. I know what you're doing. You just there. All of them just there. They're not really serving the purpose you think they're there for. If so, they would have said something about that 1.6 billion. Y'all stay fooled and tricked and zoned out on that shit if you want to. But I'm about to tell you something. He gets there late, so he gives the black community 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And he does exactly what every other person in his position who's in charge of these cities that have all these shootings and all this old shit. He tells the community that, hey, we got to focus on getting these kids somewhere to go. We got to get rec centers. We got to get job are you easily fooled to think that these little thugs on the street, you don't think they could go to McDonald's? There's plenty of jobs for these kids to go. They don't have I need a job mentality. Rap music ain't telling them and showing them how to fill out an application, damn it. They talking about drilling, getting money, getting ass. They talking about all that shit, and it ain't pertaining to no application for a job. This is a lost generation that's caught up on TikTok, Googling, and internet. The internet is the new comic book. The internet is the new toy for these gangsters, and it's virtual reality. They watch it on their screen of TikTok, and then they go out and execute it. It's a different way for a thug to function these days. And we don't want to have that real ass conversation. We want a politician who ain't never really been in the hood to tell us what's wrong with the kids in the hood. Because here's the other thing. The leadership who they listen to, or half listen to, or pretend to listen to, tell them the black kids need jobs. No, first you got to change. You got to have a parent that has the mentality to teach their kid about a job. You got to have a system in place for these children at an early age for them to value the things in life that's going to move them ahead. Why don't politicians say that shit? You know why they don't say that? Because they're afraid that if they say something like that, they'll lose voters. Wait a minute. Would a rational thinking individual such as you and I not vote for a politician because a politician tells us that these children need to be parented better? I would think that would be the politician that I would want to vote for. I don't want to vote for a politician that leaves the parents totally out of it, blames guns. Listen, I got 2 daughters. Y'all know what I'm about to say. I say it every time we do this. I got 2 daughters. I can't hand neither one of them a gun and say, hey, if my daughters found a gun in a brown paper bag on the street, they'd walk away from it. They don't have the mentality to play with guns. That's not their thing. You know why? Because mama and daddy was part of their life. We enforce values and morals in our children. So I'm going to say this, and I know the mayor, and I know y'all that like to ride and dangle off whatever he holding, whatever he doing. I'm going to say this for y'all. Whenever I see weak leadership like that, I don't care how crispy clean and how you comb your hair to the side and how well you wear a suit. That don't mean shit to me. I got a few suits of my own. But I know when I'm getting bullshitted. I know when you come and look at me in my face, I know when I'm getting bullshitted. When you sit back and you tell us, first of all, I'm still rattled on the fact that you just told Black Radio there are no gangs in Cincinnati. When you sit back and you blame all this shit on cars, oh well, you know the Kia operation and the Hyundai, they're making these cars. So the fuck what? My babies ain't stealing Kias and Hyundais because it's easy to steal. How you gonna keep blaming a product for what people are doing? Explain that to me. You get on TV and you want to blame everybody but those responsible for making kids want to be out here shooting and shit. I'm gonna make an opposition. I'm gonna say this right now, right here, real fast. There is no doubt in my mind. Hit the share, hit the tag, hit the love, hit the hate, whatever you want to do. Somebody need to hear what I'm about to say. I'm willing to bet you $1,000. And I got something else I'm putting on the line right after this comment. I'm willing to bet anybody $1,000 against their $100 of this. The trigger, the person that pulled the trigger in that latest drive-by have outstanding warrants, have cases pending, and probably don't have no business out on the streets in the first place. I'm not talking about for what they just did. I'm talking about some shit that they got pending. How much do you want to bet? I got 1,000 on it of my own money. I'll bet you 1,000 that this is not a first-time person out here trying to play tough, thugged out guy. I can guarantee you that. How much do you bet? Because this is what I do. I see it all day. I've been pumping it out of my mouth for 3.5 years, telling y'all. Do y'all remember when I ran into the police chief, Cincinnati City Police Chief? Remember when I ran into her and I had that interview, that whole 15-second interview? And I asked her a question and she wasn't mad. Look, I actually like her because I could see in her eyes, man, listen, bro, you can't say that type of shit to me right now. You're right, but I can't talk about that. Remember that? Remember that? Remember when I said, oh, there's ways for y'all to sit back here and think that you can blame a gun. And then your leaders say there's too many guns on the street. There's too many people that have guns. There's a whole lot more people that have guns than actually use them on the street and do wrong shit with them. So that's not a solid, concrete argument. Let me ask you something. If you want to blame guns for the actions of people, then this is what you should do. Y'all know that one of them little dudes, and I was right, it was a white dude that got arrested for them street takeovers. Remember what y'all said? I told you it was white boys involved in that. It was white and black. I told you. I could tell by the videos. Now, if you want to put that dude in jail or charge him with something who got arrested for the street takeover, then why aren't you blaming the cars instead of him? Blame all the hydro and all the old extra fucking big ass mufflers and the engines and the hyped up engines. You see what I'm saying? You see the parallel to the point? If you're gonna arrest this man for taking over streets and running cars through the streets and doing all this hyper shit and all that, we got to get rid of all those fast cars. Let's get rid of all the fast cars and all those power motor cars. Let's get rid of all that. It's fucking shit up. People dying out here doing that. See how stupid that sound? People got some fast cars and they responsible with their fast cars. Why should I tell Home Depot, not Home Depot, what is that? AutoZone and Spiffy and all those other car extra accessory places. Why should I tell them that they can't sell big motor things and this hydro stuff to make those cars go fast and sell those big tires that got all the extra rubber on them that bring all the smoke up? Why should I tell them they can't do that? Who is this? Girl Speak? Girl Speak says, if you got a gun, you're going to use it. Cars aren't guns. Cars are just as much of a lethal weapon as a gun. That's why people get shot by the police who take off getting ready to hit a police officer. Didn't think of that one, did you? Cars are lethal weapons. That's why it's a justified killing when somebody takes off in front of an individual. It's no different than pointing a gun at them. Didn't think of that, did you? So yeah, cars are weapons. You can look at the statute. You can look at Ohio statute. You can look. I don't know what code it is off the top of my head, but yeah, it's a weapon. And it's even more of a weapon when you do all that super hypo stuff and put and all this old other stuff that you add to it that make it super revved up and high and fast and charged. But y'all ain't talking about, oh, we got to get rid of them fast ass cars so they can't do that in the street anymore. No, you blaming the individuals for their behavior. You're not blaming the cars. So now our leadership, they're not no leader of mine. The leadership, the people you voted for, the people that you call leaders, tell you right to your face, there's too many guns on the street. There's too many guns on the street. No, there's too many people that fucking play with guns. There's too many people with a mentality that don't mind shooting into a crowd of people. Those are the people you need to erase, not people with guns. Logically, it makes no sense. Now, emotionally, you might think you have the answer to it all because it sounds good. It sounds like there's the key to the problem, but it's not. The key to the problem is erasing those that endanger other people by using a bad behavior of playing with the guns and utilizing the guns for what they're not really meant for. And then if you really want to get deep at it, let's just look at the parents. Why do you have kids out here with guns? Damn the gun. Damn the gun. So what we gonna say? Based on that logic, I guess it's okay for you to say that guns raise kids. That sounds dumb as hell. Parents raise kids. But if a parent is not raising a kid, I'm going to tell you what I've been saying for 30 years of my life. These streets will out hustle a parent. And that's what you see. You see the streets out hustling the parents. When you see kids out here 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 out here shooting and getting paid to shoot, they parents got out hustled. TikTok then out hustled the parents. The streets then out hustled the parents. Gangster whatever then out hustled everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a few people accountable. People that you're not used to holding accountable. Even though if you're new to Wyatt Live, you know I've been talking here, barking and rapping and raving. I've been saying the same thing for 3.5 years. And I'm going to tell you something. All you have right now is the same thing you got in Chicago, in Cincinnati. All you have in Cincinnati is a Chicago set-up leadership, a Baltimore set-up leadership. These people are put in place, not giving a shit about really what the community is doing. And I know a lot of people going to give me flack. You know, JJ, all these initial people and all these people care. You know, that's why some people don't like me, because I can be critical of leadership. And some people think, you know, people look up to leaders. They just not human beings willing to speak out. Some people actually look up to these motherfuckers like they biblical. And I just don't do that. So to criticize them is like criticizing Jesus. How dare I criticize God? How dare I criticize Jesus? But when I hear the same rap, I'm tired of buying the same song. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing, oh, there's too many guns on the street. I'm tired of hearing, we got these programs. Do you know how many programs are set up for the children that are attracted to guns and out here playing with guns and they out here in the streets? All that. There's plenty of nonprofit organizations where people are getting paid. They getting absolutely paid to watch and take care of these type of situations. There's some brothers right now and some sisters right now that's totally going to be mad at me because I'm exposing their hustle. The hustle is get a nonprofit organization and let's get us a group of kids. Let's get some folders together. Let's look like we about to make a change in the community. That's not your fucking job. Sorry. I know there's some big name people that y'all don't want to criticize, but it's not their job. That's why you get a city council. City council is supposed to be in the neighborhoods removing the element. That's their job. It's not the black lady who grew up on Elm Street to be gathering people to walk down the street on Summit and walk up the hills. That's not their job. They shouldn't have to do that. That's why your taxpayers pay for your city council people. That's why they have committees. That's why they have public safety, law and public safety department. That's what they exist for. And y'all done got fucking hustled. Hustled. This is the last show. I can say it. Every city get hustled. 75 out of 100 of these cities getting hustled. Everybody that you putting and checking box to get elected, they looking for greener pastures. They looking for better shit. All of them end up trying to move on out of politics. Well, they stay in politics, but they ready to go to the state level. They ain't making no differences in your community, man. They just not. And see, this is not about them preventing gun violence, them preventing violence in our own community. No, they have preventative measures for that. They have preventative measures for that. But the leadership has to know. They have to know how to combat that. You can't tell me that they don't know how to combat it. Now we got to ask ourselves, are they willing to combat it? Let me show you this video. I'm going to pull it up real fast. I want to see how many people remember this. I want to see how many people, where my black leaders at to ask those. See, y'all have celebrity softball games. Y'all have celebrity softball games when politicians come sit in front of you, or you want to be in their good graces for whatever God reason, I don't know. You want them to know your name. You want them to like you and all that old shit. It's nothing wrong with being respectful to them as long as they're respectful to you, right? Respect works. It's a two-way street. I have no problem with the city of Cincinnati police chief. I actually think she's a really nice lady. And I really genuinely think that she really wants to see a change. But when you ask certain questions, I'm a body reader. I understand reaction more than I understand the words that come out of anybody's mouth. It's a gift. You can sit there and lie to me all day with a smile on your face, and I'm going to look at you, and your body going to tell me if you're telling the truth or not. And I don't mean that about the police chief. She's genuine. She really meant what she said to me. And it wasn't the answer. She didn't want to tell the answer, but her body language told me the truth. Who remembered this? I'm going to play a little bit of this video because it'll tell you a lot. I got to cue it up a little bit because I don't want you to see the whole thing, but I just want you to see the interaction. Watch this.
OR bond. Yeah, let me ask you a question, Chief. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm a local guy, okay, here. It's not all mental health. You and I both know that. Okay, you got individuals out on the street. You had an 18-year-old in Westwood who was released by a judge down here, okay, on an OR bond, got dumped right back into the same community, caught a gun case a week later.
I don't disagree with you, but the two incidents
In this particular case was mental health.
and the previous one.
But the majority are not all mental health. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
No, let me finish.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
finish.
I don't
I'm
disagree with
talking
you.
about- What I'm talking about these two officers who were attacked recently.
Yes, ma'am.
Were both mental health
Okay.
customers.
I just have a question. When is Cincinnati Police Department and the City Council going to work with the prosecutor's office and start coming down on some of these judges about how low the bonds are being set on gun violent individuals? Because it's just a repeated situation
That's up to
right
the
now.
people at the
I
police
understand, but
election.
wouldn't you agree that they have to work? Don't you agree they have to work hand in hand?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
See when it's time to walk away? She know what it really is. She didn't fight it. She just didn't want to go there. She didn't want to step in that. That was deep water. That was deep water. And it was a basic question. It was a basic question. When is the Cincinnati Police Department and City Council going to work with the prosecutor's office and keep these people off the street? Because when are y'all going to hold the judges accountable for doing what they doing? When you going to do that? And then that was her key. That was her key. You know what? I holler, motherfucker. I holler. I holler at you. You can't talk about that. I'll answer all police. See, I'm only down here because one police officer got shot and beat up on by mental health. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know that happened, but that ain't what happens all the time. The majority of gun violence that happens in your city is the same gun violence that's happened across this country. And these folks know it. These folks actually know it. They know it. They know that when they get somebody, that these people got pending cases. That's why I was willing to put my money up. I was willing to bet anybody on this podcast that when they catch, because they're going to catch this dude, whoever they catch ain't got no business on the street right now. He got pending cases. He probably got warrants. And some judge didn't let his ass go. And now, what do I have to always go back to my regular receipts and tell you how I come up with my conclusions 20 years at this? You think I'm just saying some shit? Where are all my chaos agents at? Where are all the dudes at with the podcast who used to have a podcast, who pushed this shit. Y'all vote for this and this and that. Told me that, where Emmanuel Livingston at? Where's our dude at, bro, who called? He said, now y'all know I got love for E. I'm not talking about E. I'm saying, where's our guy at who talked about how powerful Black Cincinnati was? And he called me and E his enemy. He said, when my enemies work together, now I know what? I wasn't going to do that, E. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but damn. It's my last show, so I can say I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do what I got to do. Y'all don't even know half the shit that be going on back here. Eighteen-year-old kid gets caught with a gun in Westwood. Judge let him go. Judge let him go. He caught a gun case. He got a gun charge. Judge took him let him go. Sent him back to Westwood. It wasn't 2 weeks, it was a week and a half later. This young man, same young man, who's out on an OR bond, which means all you got to do is sign your name, young man, and go on back out there and do what you do. We'll catch up with you later on. This same young man, go back out to the streets of Westwood, and a week and a half later, he catches another charge. But this time, he gets another gun and he gets into a shootout with some other people. He gets into a shootout with some 19-year-old guys. A 19-year-old gets hit, an 8-year-old gets hit, a 6-year-old gets hit. The 6-year-old makes it out. The 8-year-old will never be the same. The 8-year-old will never be the same. The 8-year-old can't go play football, baseball, will be in a wheelchair, will never be the same. The police chief know exactly what I'm talking about when I said that. They know exactly what I'm talking about. So when people say, well, city council can't stop violence. The police are reactive. They can't stop violence. Well, the prosecutors, you even got chaos agents that say shit like, well, damn, when Joe Ditas was in there, he was a racist and this and all that. Joe Dita this, Joe Dita that. Joe Dita talking about giving a dude 200 years. Damn, they see how they do us? Do y'all know that man two dudes shot into a crowd on Main Street, hitting 9 people? And you can twist your lips and form a sentence of, I can't believe they trying to give that man 200 years. See what's wrong? You see what's wrong? Conditioned. I won't say brainwashed. I told you I was going to leave that name. I was going to leave that alone. Conditioned minds speak the loudest. What Granny always tell me, y'all, the emptiest can is the loudest. If you sit back and evaluate what the problems are, you know exactly who to blame. Why don't politicians ever tell the truth about what the real problem is? They'll go on radio, they'll go on TV, they'll go on podcasts, and they will sit back and tell us that it's a gun problem. It's a gun problem? Ask that same politician. The same politician, whether it's the mayor, vice mayor, or a city council member, the police chief, the anybody that's telling you this shit, ask them, do you think your kid would do what these kids are doing out there? Do you think your kid, if your kid seen your gun at home, chief, or if your kid seen your gun, Mayor Aftab, do you think your kid would take your gun and go out and do the shit that they doing out here? And if so, if not, Mr. Mayor or whoever, why not? Because you're not building them like that. You're not building your child to go out and do the shit that you see these other kids doing. Stop blaming guns. Stop blaming the access of guns. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. That same mentality, if they didn't have a gun, they would use something else. They'll use something else. Shit, they fuck around and make a slingshot. The mentality is the mentality. They gonna get you however they get you. So stop blaming guns and understand that there is a mentality that's just criminal. And it comes from somewhere. It's not poverty. You love to blame poverty because we all grew up impoverished. I grew up poor as hell. But my mama and them didn't let me know that. Nobody said you're going to have to steal and rob banks. You're going to have to sell dope. You're going to have to do that. That's a mentality, yo. More than half my friends that sold dope from down the way, they didn't have to do it. We did it because we wanted that lifestyle. There's shit that comes with that lifestyle. There's a prestige that comes right then and there. Non-street motherfuckers don't know nothing about it. They the ones that evaluate. They the ones who tell the community, well, what we got to do is we're going to have to do this case study of why these guys act the way they act. Well, you're going to push $75,000 of taxpayer dollars to do a study of why people sell drugs in their own community. And you're going to call it because we live in a impoverished society. No, that's not it. We live in a get money ass society. And if parents aren't teaching them, if parents aren't putting them in the path of how to get to the money the right way, then they're going to go buy it and they're going to go get it by any means necessary. And the streets will teach them. Streets out here raising kids. TikTok out here raising kids. Social media out here raising kids. But we want to blame gun violence. We want to blame guns for the actions and the mentality of an individual. But here's the answer. And soon as you start talking about Democrat, Republican, and all that old shit, that's where we have a disconnect. But it's funny that you have one particular party that tends to always want to push all these programs. Oh, we need job and family. Not job and family services. They always say we need these family services programs and all this old shit. Listen, let me tell you something. These little boys that got a certain mentality, I've been amongst them wolves, trust me. Ain't nobody thinking about getting no motherfucking job. They not trying to be at Kings Island over the summer, working Kings Island, and then go back to the streets, and you can blame Kings Island for not being open all year round. They ain't even trying to go to Kings Island to work. They going up there to blow $200, $300. They don't want a job. That is a mentality. You got all these jobs at McDonald's, Arby's. They got signs in the window that says $15 an hour, $20 an hour, plus college tuition. These people don't want to work. Hustlers don't work. Who don't know that? Who don't know that? Anybody ever known a dope dealer to really have a job? Now, I ain't talking about a job that he created. You know how it is. Motherfucker open up a little pony keg or some shit and he in there all day. But that's just the front. If a street dude got a job, it's just a front. It's not really a job. He ain't about to break no nails. It's just a front. And y'all act like people don't know that shit. Maybe it sound good on the radio or on television when you talking to people. But reality is reality. And for some odd reason, you voting people be believing this shit that these politicians be talking about. I don't get it. Oh, it's the gun problem. Wait a minute. Mr. Mayor, did you just say? Oh, y'all know I got the interview. I'm going to show you the video. Mr. Mayor, did you just say that because Kia and Hyundai It's a national problem that these cars are being broken into and stolen, and they using these to commit these shootings. So ain't nobody shooting nobody without a Kia or a Hyundai. So we gonna now blame Kia and Hyundai because the drive-by shootings are happening with cars that they can break into easily. So it's Kia and Hyundai's fault. I can't even explain that right. It's Kia and Hyundai's fault that a certain mentality will come break into it and go do a drive-by. That's Kia's fault. That's Hyundai's fault. I understand, Mr. Politician. I understand, Mrs. Politician. Because you can't blame your constituents. You can't blame the real problem. If you do that, they ain't gonna vote for you. If you stood tall and you stood in front of the problem and you say, you know what? My next administration, I am getting all these people off the street that don't take care of shit, or what I'm going to do is I'm trying to pass a city ordinance where these parents are now being charged for the shit that they underage children are doing. That person would not get elected. That person would be blackballed. That person would get no respect. No, excuse me. That person would get no support from current administration and those that's trying to be part of the administration. They would get no support. They wouldn't go in collaboratively and say, well, we're going to go in and make this change. You got 10 people in the city of Cincinnati running for 9 spots for city council. You ain't got no Republicans because Republicans don't give a fuck what y'all do with the city, quite frankly. They don't care. That's why you had 24.7% turnout last year or the last election, because they don't care. Tear the motherfucker up if you want to. That's what they saying. Y'all gonna have the policies. You got a Democrat mayor and all that. Go right ahead. Tear that motherfucker up. Y'all tearing it up. And then what you do, them same folks turn around and bitch and complain about 3CDC. 3CDC is classified as a nonprofit organization. How does it get that status? What policies support 3CDC? The same policies that you think are in place for impoverished people in your neighborhood. Dog chasing a tail. You don't even know that's your own tail you're chasing. You don't even know. They got you so convinced. I told you I wasn't going to use brainwashed anymore. It's the truth. They'll have you, look, y'all know the old saying. When I say the media, I mean manipulators. Media and manipulators will have you hating the people you should love and loving the people you should hate. It's up to you to figure out which way you should really be going. And it's the truth. I don't understand why we don't understand. I don't get it. I want to show you this. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my own money up. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Let me cue this video up. I want everybody to see this so you'll have an idea of why I'm going off today, why I'm where I'm at with this today. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, there it is right there. Before I show you this video, it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. Before I show you this, I am going to commit my own personal money to the city of Cincinnati. I got a $5,000 reward for anyone that can get me or get us the information that leads to the arrest of the individual that shot over the weekend into the crowd of people, hitting those 6 individuals. The 11-year-old who died, The other 13-year-old, the 15-year-old, the 18-year-old, and the 53-year-old. I have a $5,000 reward out of my own pocket if you get me the information, and you know how to get to me. I ain't nothing new. This is not the first time I've had to do this. $5,000 reward for anybody that gets me the information that leads to the arrest of the person that pulled the trigger. I'll be posting it on my Facebook page, and I'm easy to find. I'm easy to get to. You can reach out to me. You get me the information, I got 5 G's for you. Private information. I won't say a word. Watch this video.
A group of kids playing outside of their house when a madman came by and fired 22 rounds into a group of kids.
Well, Mayor Aftab Piraval and Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Thigi held a news conference earlier today on the West End shooting that killed an 11-year-old boy and injured 5 others. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Courtney King. The chief says investigators have been working tirelessly since Friday, and the family of the boy who was killed also joined city officials at that news conference.
Would this ever stop? Like, how many people have to bury their kids, their babies, their loved ones?
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt this. Do you notice how they went and got the parents? See, this is sickening to me. This is playing politics. This is sickening to me. Man, if I was the father of this child, I'd be mad at everybody that even had something to say to me about this shit. I don't want to talk to anybody but the police. I don't want to talk to politicians. I don't want to talk to city council people, city managers. I don't want to talk to nobody but the police. Because nobody else mean anything. You don't mean good for me. Because if you really meant good for me, these individuals wouldn't be out on the street right now, because you would be making it tough for people to be able to do what they're doing right now. You're not utilizing all your full resources. Wyatt didn't put the police chief on blast in the courthouse telling y'all, why isn't the police department, city council, and the prosecutor's office going in there and making these judges accountable for what they're doing? I can guarantee you one thing right now. The person who shot this man's son and that lady's baby, and that grandmother back there, I can guarantee you he a street dude. I can guarantee you he got warrants, he got pending matters, and he ain't got no business on the motherfucking street in the first place. How much do you want to bet? Do you know how many times I could come on here and say this same thing? And then, you know what? I don't mean to sound nasty, but I got to say it because this is my last show. It's sickening for me to see all those politicians up there talking this shit about what need. You don't live there. Your kids aren't involved in the same shit these people on the streets are involved in. You using these people for political movement. I can't stand it. It fucks me up. I'm the only one that can say it. And then the mayor shows up on black radio today, and it's a celebrity softball game. He can get out of there doing the hopscotch. He played hopscotch, tetherball, and everything else, and he blamed it on guns, Kias, and Hyundais. He didn't say one thing about a parent. The only thing that he could say about parents are the parents that are victimized. This ain't a city manager problem. This ain't a mayor problem. This ain't a Cincinnati police problem. This is a problem before they even develop to be a menace to society. And these people don't even want to talk about it. Stop putting my people. Stop. Stop. This father should not have to bury his baby. His mother, the baby's mother, the child's mother should not have to bury her son. And you got these motherfuckers up here playing political games and want to act all, you just went on radio and just talk about a great win by the Bengals, and then you dropped your head down talking about, yeah, the shooting was fucked up, and yeah, you went into mode. You went into fake I give a shit ass mode, bro. The fuck? I watched it. You talking about the motherfucking Bengals. Don't nobody care about no Bengals when we got real. You already fucked the Bengals ride up last year talking that shit about Kansas City can't beat us, all that old shit. Leave the Bengals out your mind. We got other bigger fish to fry. If I was going to be here any longer with the Wyatt Live show, I would guarantee you by the time they find that individual, just like they did, the little 15 and 18-year-olds in the last drive-by over by Washington Park who drove by the cars and shot up and did all that old shit, they had no business on the streets. They had no business on the streets. And these was young dudes. And now you got people sitting up there when the cameras come on, they gathering up to get in the camera shot, making it look like they collect, y'all know the move. I ain't got to say it. So concerning. So what's going to happen? Where's the next meeting at City Council? Y'all want it to be at Bloom? Y'all want it to be at Winton Hills? What is that? Woodward High School? Where's the next meeting where you going to tell us we got to start getting these guns off the street? Do you know what they blamed it on in the press conference? Do you know that this man, the mayor, came on and said this? Y'all think I don't like him. I just didn't like the shit that came out his mouth. I actually like this mayor. I just don't like, he don't understand crime. He don't understand the game. He don't understand the real shit that's going on in the black community. This man is from the city of Cincinnati. He hasn't had, there's a different kind of struggle. He hasn't lived in the type of struggle that we lived in. He ain't lived in no influential struggle. He ain't lived like that. He ain't live in an influential struggle. He didn't live like we did. He didn't live where he could have went left with the friends that wasn't doing shit in life. This man went off to a major university, then he went on to either Harvard or what was it? I think he went to Harvard or one of those prestigious law schools. Brother, I know it's your duty to stand in front of people and talk this shit, but at least be honest with us. Be honest with us. I'm not one of those paid up Negroes that's going to sit here and think knowing you is special. Oh yeah, I know all the names on city council. That don't mean shit to me. I told y'all a long time ago. It meant nothing to me. And I know some of you, if he had relationships with him, he'd think different. No, I don't want, no. I could be a basket water carrier if I wanted to be. I could sit up here and fake and pump fake my people and try to make it seem like that I co-sign and I'm okay with how things are going. I wouldn't be able to sleep with myself at night. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I know it's fraud shit going on, and I know when I'm being frauded. And I'm not going to partake in it. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to sit back and say we got a winning team. We're building. Show me where black folks in this country living better than they ever lived before. I'll wait. Show us where's the Bidenomic perfect example. Biden can get on the TV and say that things are great. This is Bidenomics working at its fullest. And I can't go to Kroger in Cincinnati and spend less than $200 to get maybe 4 days worth of food. I can't get out of there without spending $150. So I need Joe Biden to tell me, where is this Bidenomic grocery store and Bidenomic gas station you sending motherfuckers to? Because I got to find it. I got to find it. I'm ready to start selling some stock so I can eat. Show me. You so proud of Bidenomics. Show me where it's at. If you on this podcast right now and you don't have an issue at the grocery store, and I don't care about all y'all coupon clipping ass people, we all do it. We all go in and use the Kroger card and all that old shit. It's still $100, $150. It's still $150 for some short shit. I remember you could fill your whole car up in the back, your trunk. You could fill your trunk up for $200. You got me out here wanting to buy some stamps. Let me let this brother finish. Let me let this brother finish. Because I want you to hear. And I'm going to rewind it because I want you to hear this man. I want you to hear this brother who lost his son. Parents are not supposed to bury their children. Children are supposed to bury their parents.
Killed also joined city officials at that news conference.
Would this ever stop? Like, how many people have to bury their kids, their babies, their loved ones?
On Sunday, city officials called a news conference to address violence over the weekend.
It's been a very difficult and tragic weekend here in Cincinnati.
On Friday night, someone shot and killed an 11-year-old boy and injured 5 others near Jones and Wade Streets.
On Friday night, the West End community was shaken to its core by a sickening, unacceptable tragedy. This community, a community full of life and energy, is now forever changed.
The facts that I'm going to give you should be extremely shocking to anybody's conscience.
Police Chief Teresa Thigi says no one has been arrested yet, but a suspect pulled up in a dark sedan and fired.
22 rounds in quick succession.
The chief says the other victims are 12, 13, 15, and a 53-year-old woman. One of the child victims is still in the hospital, but is in stable condition.
6 shooting victims.
Like, look at his mother. Look at me.
Isaac Davis is the father of the 11-year-old boy who was killed.
I'm just asking anybody that know anything to come forward, please. Just please come forward. We're begging. I don't know what else to say, but just please come forward.
Right now, police do not have a description of any suspects.
Turn yourself in. Call a loved one. Have them turn you in. Because if you don't, we will find you and we will bring you to justice.
The city is deploying mental health services to the community starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you have any information in this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 513-352-3040.
Okay, Chief, don't hold your breath. They're probably not going to turn themselves in. We all know that, okay? We all know that. And I don't want to make light of that. But I do want to say this. I'm going to put $5,000 of my own money up for any information that's leading to the arrest of the shooter that killed that 11-year-old guy, little man, little boy, and shot the other 5 other people. You send me the information that leads to an arrest, and we'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to say it the way I got to say it the way the people want to hear it, the way it needs to be said. I listened to a press conference yesterday. I heard the mayor tell everybody that this gun violence across the nation is sickening. Not a parenting problem, not a problem with our youth. Not we need to be taken care. He blamed everything but the individuals that's raising the kids, and the kids having this sickening obsession with social media and all that old shit. He blamed the Hyundai company, the Kia company. And as long as you blaming big business, you'll never solve the problem. See, that's a misdirection that they do on purpose. It makes them sound like that they're up on it. Makes it sound like that they're doing something or that they're aware, but they're not. I'm not gonna say they're not aware. They just can't go after it. Remember when the Cincinnati police chief, the one that retired and went on to something else, he's now the police chief at the University of Cincinnati, the school, the college. And I said, wait a minute, he out in the middle of the street talking about, we need to stop all this violence and all this old shooting and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't mention any parents' name. And you got 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 13-year-olds involved in this. I said, oh, yeah, he about to retire in a week, but he ain't going nowhere because he's not calling it the right way. He's not calling it right. He know that he's supposed to be telling people that got 12-year-old kids out in the street, you need to get your damn kids. You need to be taking care of these kids. You need to be doing. He know that that's what need to be. And you, a brother, we know that he should be saying, come get your badass kids. Where your mom at, where your daddy at. He should be saying that. What did I tell y'all? This is another receipt. It panned out like I told you. I said, oh, he either going to city council, he either going to run for city council, or he going to get another job. He's not going to retire. He's just going to retire from the CPS. He's going to retire from Cincinnati Police Department. But he going to get another job like this one. 2 weeks later, he was announced the new chief of police of the University of Cincinnati. I kind of know what I'm talking about sometimes. If y'all only knew how much crime was actually happening in your city, how many bodies they're actually finding, you'd be shocked. They don't report all the crime. They don't tell you everything. It don't hit the news. There's a dead body over in Westwood right now, or yesterday. Police showed up, got the body. They did what they did. No news cameras, no reporters from the Post, none of that shit. Nobody's there. Those things are happening in your city. It's going to take a mass shooting like this or something that happens down on Main Street. All of that type of shit has to happen for them to really, really dig down inside and tell you. Like, this is what's going on, y'all. This happened. Because it's obvious. Everybody know. Could you imagine it not being on the news of what happened over the weekend? The 11-year-old getting shot. 6 people getting shot. 11-year-old dies. And it's not in the news. It's not on the TV. It's just not. Can you imagine that? No, let me give you something to imagine. Imagine if you watched the news and you seen 75 brutal, violent situations. The news couldn't stay on for an hour. You'd have to start the news at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it wouldn't go off till 9 o'clock at night if they showed you everything that was going on in your city. When people ask me the question, when they say city council can't do nothing about the crime, well, what do you need what ask yourself, what did you vote for whoever named? Because y'all play identity politics. You play identity politics, in other words, it's like a thrill to know a politician. So as long as you know that person, or they do coffee or tea with you one day, you feel special. Well, you just got them a part-time job making like 80 grand a year, and now they prestigious or whatever. Y'all might think I'm hating. I'm just being realistic. Ain't it time to be realistic by now? You just put them in a position, they don't really know you. They don't really give a fuck about you. They really don't. You just furthering the things that they trying to do in life. That all being said, now let me just ask you this question. You ever asked yourself why you really wanted to vote for somebody? Like, did they really do or make a change? Or, I mean, did they really do something to help us? I'm just curious. The mayor of Cincinnati went on Black radio today. I wrote a note down of a couple things that he said. He said getting kids jobs would make a difference. I'm sorry, sir, but these kids out here on the street that's playing thug, they don't want a job. There's nothing saying that they can't get a job. There's plenty of places that will hire them, like right now. That's not the answer. Stop throwing up old shit how it used to be, all us old heads. All us old heads say shit like this. Well, we had CCY. Well, they don't have CCY right now, but they got White Castle, they got McDonald's, they got Frisch's, they got all these other little places. They got people that have jobs that will bring in what do they call those people? Shadowing. You can bring kids in to shadow. Those things exist. Those things exist. Stop trying to make it sound like it's the society's fault that these kids acting fucked up. No, it's not. If that was the case, all our kids would be out here acting crazy. Don't sit back and tell me because we ain't got CCY anymore. You giving the politician an excuse. You giving them an out. I just drove by Arby's the other day. Big ass sign. I know I said it already, but I'm going to use Arby's. Arby's has a sign outside that says $15 an hour, college reimbursement. Kids out here playing with guns and doing this stuff, they know that them jobs are not getting them kids the things that those kids are looking for in life. Have you checked TikTok and social media out, Sexy Reds and all that old shit? How them kids gonna work at McDonald's or any other little paper route or any of these little small entry-level jobs and live the lifestyle of Lil Bocia or Lil this or Lil that or Lil Kiki or whatever the fuck, Lil Sexy, Lil Red, Lil this? How they gonna live? Their mentality is different. I know. I've been there. I couldn't go get no job at no fast food restaurant and ride the bus and then get a check for $72 or $150 and the shit I want. I remember, listen, let me tell you, this is my last show, so I gotta let you know. Listen, I worked in a place that I was just trying to stay out of the way. But when I got my check and it was $125, I was a kid, I was 18, whatever. When I got a $125 check and I'm trying to go get me a troop sweatsuit and that motherfucker $300, that $1.25 don't look like nothing. And by the time you done worked, you could save up $75 out of this check, $75 out of that check. All right, damn it, I'm halfway there. But now it take me 3 months to get that troop sweatsuit and they ain't even wearing it no more. It ain't hot no more. I was a working class dude saving up my money to get me some hot shit. And by the time my work added up to the money for me to be able to get it, this shit ain't hot no more. I couldn't buy a troop sweatsuit and the shoes. You go on TikTok, they got all that shit on. They got on all the top shit. They got on shit that's ripped up. The shirt $300, the pants $600. They got $1,000 worth of shit on, and you trying to tell a kid to go get a job where he about to bring $72.50 in on Friday. You got a mentality problem, folks. And some of these politicians, city leaders, black leaders, they don't want to admit it. They got all these excuses. I ain't heard none of them say shit about, well, we're going to start this one program to make parents better. It's always you trying to change the kid that's already going in the path that he's going in. Now, I'm not saying that people they can't change. But I'm going to tell you something. I know this from the Big Brother program. It's hard to be from down the way and see a big brother once a month. A rich ass white dude or some black dude that's rich and living a certain way. You can't mentor a kid once a month and then he go back to the neighborhood and he with his friends and this and old shit. Look, man, all of us that used to get in trouble, it wasn't my mama that got me in trouble. It wasn't even my granny that got me in trouble. It was my partners. It was my friends. It was all of us getting in trouble. That was just how we did shit. Now, our parents got to be there. The parent got to be there and be that stabilizer of keeping these kids out of trouble. It's the friends. It's the streets. I know that's hard. We all know that. It ain't hard for me to tell people that I already know. The problem is people don't want to tell the truth. Because guess what? Let's be honest. The truth is a hard pill to swallow. And let's just be honest. When you tell the truth, the accountability generally falls back. You got to look at the first domino to fall. The first domino that creates the reaction is usually the person that allows the other person to get out in the streets. The parent or whatever. Then here we go. All these are the poor parents. They can't look out for their kids. All right, I'm going to say the next thing that need to be said. And this going to get me canceled. I don't care. It's my last show. If you can't take care of kids, stop having them. If you want to blame inflation, you want to blame how much shit costs, you to blame you ain't got no babysitter, you want to blame that the baby daddy ain't shit, you want to come up with all these excuses of why your ass ain't a good mother or a good daddy, then stop having fucking kids. I said it. Live on the air in 4K. I said it. I want y'all to hear a little bit of this, okay? This is important. I want you to hear it. And I'm going to stop a little bit. I'm going to stop a little bit because I want you to hear a little bit of some shit that kind of pisses me off. Check it out.
Here in Cincinnati. On Friday night, the West End community was shaken to its core by a sickening, unacceptable tragedy. In a vibrant neighborhood right next to a local park, just a walk from a historic elementary school, 6 residents were shot. 5 of the victims were children. An 11-year-old boy was killed. And one of the other 5 victims remains in treatment at a local hospital. This community, a community full of life and energy, is now forever changed. Since the shooting, we spent time with residents in the neighborhood, the city manager and I and the chief yesterday and today, and the overwhelming message that we have heard is one of unimaginable trauma. Almost every door we knocked had children living in the home. The West End is a community of families, of young kids. Children who grew up with and went to school with the victim, who call the same streets parks and home. And families who have experienced firsthand the kind of shock and loss that never leaves you. Folks didn't feel safe leaving their home yesterday and this morning. They were shouting messages of love and support to each other through open windows. But they were too wary to go outside. They were feeling shattered by the reality that a child whose only concern in life should be playing and learning and growing could be taken from us because a deadly weapon was on their community streets. But even in this tragedy, the West End embodies love and hope and grace. To everyone grappling with the trauma of this tragedy, we are here for you now, and we will continue to be here for you. I can't express emphatically enough my appreciation for everyone who stepped up immediately to support those in crisis, to provide resources and support to the families and children growing through this. Our first responders, including and especially our firefighters, our police officers, our homicide detectives who have basically not stopped and not slept since Friday night. These are the folks who are always there, always, day and night when our communities are going through the worst of it. They have the eternal gratitude of myself and our community leaders for once again serving with determination and dignity through these horrifying events. And I have the utmost confidence that justice will be delivered. To the members of our administration and the community partners who have come together to build a comprehensive plan for community support, to the council members who have immediately stepped up into action, I want to reiterate how overwhelmingly thankful I am that we have a team who will stop at nothing to be there for the West End, however that we can.
Okay, listen. I get it. One thing I don't like, to be honest with you, it's nothing about him per se. I don't like when politicians read shit. I'm just, maybe they have to do it because maybe people write it, they do it so they can remember names, they can remember a situation or any of that. I don't think that listen, if you ever got to apologize to me for some shit you done did to me, don't put it on a letter. If you can't bring it from here, you don't mean it to me. Now that don't mean it's like that for everybody. Okay, that doesn't mean that people can't write their feelings down. I know there's people like that, but the way I accept apologies is I need it from the heart. I need you to look at me in my eyes, not down at a script, and tell me how sorry you are for doing what you did to me, or how sorry you are, or how apologetic you are about what's going on. All right. I don't need you. And here go the other thing. Y'all gonna think I'm attacking. I'm not attacking. I really, really like AbTab. I really do. But I don't like how he comes to black radio and talk to the black folks. Now, y'all can get mad at me if you want to. I don't think that he think that I'm coming at him. I just don't like when I know when people are talking to me, you're taking me for granted. I know when you just saying some shit that's the you'll get them next time guy. Like I just struck out. You know that old fake ass rah-rah shit? I just struck out at the plate. A kid was better than me. He threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right past me. I swung at it. I didn't even come close to hitting it. And I walked back to the bench and the coach tell me, don't worry about it, Rand. You'll get it next time. That's that feeling. I didn't even look good up there, coach. The man overpowered me with his fastball. I didn't stand a chance, and chances are I ain't going to do well on the next go-round. Give me instruction on how to be better. Don't sympathize and then try to, that's that participation shit. That comes from weak leadership. Strong leadership attacks a problem. Strong leadership attacks. It's combative. It fights back. It don't sit back and act like shit, like, oh, gloom and doom. No, it tells you what the problem are. We're going to get these motherfuckers off the street. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Here's my plan. Leadership, it's like when, I hate to say it, but we all got somebody that's crazy in our family. We all got a motherfucker that if something go wrong, we know who to go get. We all know to go get him to handle this shit that we got going on. And he make you feel good, don't he? That crazy cousin, that uncle, that cousin, whatever, make you feel like this shit about to get handled. Because they look at you and be like, where he at? What he doing? For real, they did that to you? Where that motherfucker at? Where they at? Where they at? Come on, man. Go get your shit. Go get your hat. Go get your coat. Let's go. We're going to find this motherfucker. And now you got swag. You ready to go. You rejuvenated. You ready to go. He put a battery in your back. I want to fast forward because I want you to see something else that I find disturbing in this press conference. Y'all gonna think I'm attacking them, but I'm really not. I just wanted y'all to see that I see things. I see things. I see things. I hear them and I feel them and I see them. And I just, when you start blaming gun owners for what these kids are doing out in the streets, do you know in this press conference, I'm running out of time, but do you know in this press conference, the mayor just said gun owners have to be more responsible with their guns, locking them up, doing this, doing that. Okay, maybe you got a point there, but you basically trying to tell us that people that got guns who are not safely putting them up, storing them properly, they're at fault for the gun violence, the mentality that a child went and shot another child with it. You tell that to the gun owner where there was an accidental shooting. Did y'all hear that in the press? This man is trying to say, lock your guns up. It's the gun owner's fault that these shootings are happening. Not the kid that got the mentality to use a gun if they find one. Not the kid who will break into your house. And steal your gun. He's blaming gun owners. Let me ask you something, Mayor. Did you give a speech to the sheriff who had her gun stolen out of her car? I didn't see you go public or say anything about that gun owner. Didn't she get her car stolen and her gun was stolen too? That's the police. Wasn't that the sheriff? McGuffrey? What's her name? Up in Cincinnati. What's her name? McGuffrey? Didn't she get her gun stolen from a robbery? Is that her fault? That somebody broke in her car and stole her car and her gun? That's her fault now that they're going to use that gun in a robbery or a drug deal. It's her fault. Got you. I want you to see this. Hold on. Let me see if I got more. I want you to hear a little bit more.
"22 rounds were fired. 22 rounds in a moment into a crowd of kids. No time to respond, no time to react. That is the reality that these kids had to live through.
Let me say this. Let me say this. You know what the reality that we have to live through? Yeah, it's a tragedy thing. It's a tragic thing that happened. Here's why we don't get ahead, because we don't really want to tell the truth about what color the horse is. Here's why Mr. Mayor, why don't you try this on for size? Try this on for size and see if we all can relate. Do you know that Cincinnati Public School only has a 30% proficiency level? Do you know what that means? That means only 3 out of 10 children could read at proficiency level. Have you thought about that is not a gun problem that leads to gun problems. You got a 78 percentile of kids in the Cincinnati area who's graduating. So that leaves 28%. What is it, 78? Is it 78? 78 percentile that graduates. But you got a 30 percentile that's reading and writing at proficiency level. You got to understand those numbers right there tell me criminal element. Criminal element. Let me give you another stat that I share all the time. 60% of inmates in state correctional facilities are illiterate. Can't read or write. It's 2023. Choices have consequences. Voting has consequences. When you support issues and policies that push down bad behavior, these numbers become very clear. These numbers become very clear of why these things are happening. Very clear. I want you to see the city manager. Now, let me see something. Let me see if I got her key. Yeah, here she go right here.
I want to stress something. This is not an act of God. This is not a natural disaster. The devastation, the harm, and the loss of life are a shock to us all. But they stem from actions of real people, and they enabled by access to guns. As city manager, I will work tirelessly with CPD and all the community partners to bring the perpetrators to justice. But even as I make this promise, I recognize that it's not enough. Violence like this cannot be our status quo. It cannot be tolerated in the city of Cincinnati. I want to thank all of the police officers and first responders who were on the scene on Friday night and who have been working diligently on this case. We often talk about the physical danger that officers face in the line of duty, but I want to recognize the emotional and mental health toll that responding to a crime like this can have. To all of our officers, my administration is here for you, and the stress and anguish that you feel is just as valid as any physical harm that threatens your well-being. Our entire city is grieving the injury and life lost in the West End. We are bewildered, furious, and heartbroken that children of Cincinnati are not safe from deadly use of guns. I myself have lost a family member to gun violence.
So have I. So have I. A lot of us have. I'm not trying to cut her off and all that. It's just funny how y'all know shit like this damn near happens everywhere almost all the time. This is one that kind of hits home, right? And I'm not trying to be rude and I'm not trying to call nobody out or whatever, but you know, why is this one, you know what, where was y'all at, 2 months ago? This same shit, this is a regular thing. Why are you calling out gun violence? You know there's a pattern in place. You know there's a consistent pattern of certain people and where it's coming from. You know it. Why not say it? Why not say it? You don't have no problem talk about racist. You have no problems calling everybody else out for their accountability. Why won't you call out the real problem here? Even if you're wrong, make some of us feel like you're doing it right. I'm trying to figure out why y'all okay with the dog tasting his tail. We should be done laughing at that. That's a clown show. That's an act. I don't get it. I don't get it. So what you gonna do? Let me say this to y'all real fast before I get up out of here. And like I told you, I want to thank everybody for the 3.5 years. I'm kind of done with this shit. It don't make me any money. I get criticized. I'm frowned upon. And all I've ever tried to do was help. And in that route of helping, that mean I had to step on a few toes. That mean I had to tell you the truth about your hometown hero who ain't shit. My granny told me a long time ago, fam. She said, Rand, you can't save everybody. Don't jump in the ocean trying to save somebody who okay dying. It's hard. It's very difficult having conversations it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. I want you to hear this.
The preliminary investigation indicates the victims were near the intersection of Jones Street and Bent Drive when an occupant of a dark sedan fired 22 rounds in quick succession. The incident was captured on our ShotSpotter technology. The surviving victims, a male black 12, a male black 13, a male black 15, a female black 15, and a female black 53. Two of these juveniles attended Cincinnati College Preparatory Academy, including the deceased. 3 of the juveniles attended Cincinnati Public Schools. A couple of things I want to say beyond the facts of the incident. My sincere gratitude goes to the medical professionals at the University Hospital and Children's Hospital.
Mother, Diane Jones, the grandmother, and Kashia Tucker, a loved one. We'll ask Mr. Davis to provide a brief remark.
When would this stop? Would this ever stop? Like, how many people have to bury their kids, their babies, their loved ones? Like, look at his mother. Look at me. I mean, you're not gonna realize it until someone happened to your family, until it happens to you. I'm just asking anybody that know anything to come forward, please. Just please come forward. We're begging. I don't know what else to say, but just please come forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take questions, we'll excuse the family. With that, we'll take any questions.
Any possible leads at this point as to who these people responsible could be?
I spoke with the homicide unit a little bit before this press conference. Tips and leads are coming in. They will follow up on each and every one of them. But at this point in the investigation, we are not going to discuss where we're headed with the investigation.
Is this picked up by any cameras?
Again, we're not going to get into any details of the investigation. That's all critical types of evidence that the homicide investigators.
There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. I like the fact that they're keeping the investigation hidden. That's what they're supposed to do. You don't do anything. I mean, that's a ridiculous question, but it needs to be asked. But I don't have a problem with the chief of police saying our investigation is a closed investigation as far as information. You don't want to let people who are out here running from you know how you're moving. So that's a very respectable answer. I'm not mad at her for saying that. I respect it, and it's the truth. You cannot let people know what you know, because then they'll know how to move.
We'll take a look at.
Is there any threat to that area where the shooting happened? I know yesterday there was a video released and shortly before.
My order in CCPA is myself, the city manager, the chief of police, our entire Cincinnati Police Department force, which is the best in the world, will not stop until we find this person and bring them to justice. At the same time, equally as important to us is making sure that those West End residents and neighbors and kids understand that we are here and we are not going anywhere. As the city manager announced, tomorrow at 11 a.m., the city is deploying mental health wraparound services to any and all who need it. We're coordinating with Hayes Porter and CCPA and Taft, the schools in the area, because so many children knew of and played with the victim. The trauma that we are now forced as a community to deal with does not go away. The shooting may be over, but the trauma is still there, and part of that trauma is not feeling safe in their homes. It's going to take some time for us and for the community to do the work necessary. That's why the city manager continues to reiterate, if you are a gun owner, to lock up your gun and to make sure that it doesn't get into the wrong hands that leads to this kind of tragedy. Other than the universal accessibility of guns in our community, the inability to resolve differences peacefully continues to challenge us. We see headline after headline of someone knocking on the wrong door and getting shot, someone getting into a road rage incident and getting...
See, he's diverting. This is what I was going to show you. This is how I'm going to close out the show. That's a diversion. He's talking about lock up your guns. He's talking about road rage. He's talking about people who get into it with guns. We're not talking about the community anymore. See, you're talking about how people need to lock up their guns. You don't have an answer. Stop talking about how people need to lock up their guns and talk about how people need to start taking a hold of their children. Why not say that, Mayor? What's wrong with it? What black family in this city would have a problem with the mayor saying, mothers and fathers, fathers and mothers, get a hold of your children? You would rather comfort a parent who's already lost a child, grip them and grab them and hug them and put all this old fake shit up in front of them, than to try to save kids that it ain't happened to yet. I got a problem with that. That's not genuine to me. That's just not genuine to me. You're talking about gun irresponsible behavior, but you're not talking about parent behavior. You're not talking about the things that make parents, that these kids are attracted to because of the lack of attraction that they get at home, attention they getting at home. You blaming the kids in the Hyundais. Let me take this one last phone call before I get out of here for the day. But yeah, this is it. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
This is Alethea Williams. How you doing, Wyatt?
Hey, Alethea, what's going on, sis? What's good with
Oh,
you?
nothing much. I just wanted to give you a call. I know you said it was your last show, but I wanted to just go back on a show that you had that you were asking, where are our city leaders? And this is exactly what happens to them. They get tired, they get worn, they get tired of everything being so repetitive. And I just want you to know that I believe you should keep your platform. It's a way to reach the people, whether adult or young adult or a child, because you're in households. So I will ask you just to rethink. If you need a couple days, then do that, just to regain your strength of all the hogwash that's going on that you talk about on your show. But I don't believe that you should shut your show down, because it is one of the positive things that's going on in the city of Cincinnati. So that's what I wanted to let you know. This is exactly what happened to our city leaders, our community leaders. They get tired. And because things get a little rough, if you need to back out for a little bit, but don't stay gone. Don't stay gone. People need you. You're valuable. You're a valuable person. And it's easy for you to say, like, okay, I'm gone. But it's affecting you. Have over all your views, either the relationships that are bonded over your podcast. I know I'm friends with a lot of people that I didn't know because you introduced them. So just rethink. Take some time if you need to for you and your family, but don't stay gone. Our city, looks up to you. I mean, I introduced you to a lot of people that comes in and out of my business, that you spoke to and had a lot of enlightenment, even one of my stylists. So I'm just going to keep praying for you, but I don't think you should stay gone.
I appreciate it, sis. I ain't got nothing but love for you. You have been there, and I've talked to a lot of people off the camera or off the show, through you and tried to help and do whatever I could to help some of those folks. Sometimes it worked, and you know what I'm saying? But it's you said something earlier about where are the black leaders? I said, where are the black leaders? And then they fall off. I know those leaders. I know what you're talking about. You're absolutely right, sis. But who I have a problem with are not those that fell off and don't want to do it anymore. I understand their struggle and what they go through. It's the leaders that are currently in position that think they're a leader. And then they sell themselves as being leaders. They frauds. They fake. That's and I'm just going to say it the way it needs to be said. I just have a problem when people they anoint themselves a black leader. And that's some bullshit to me, because if you was a real black leader, you would have more than your plan would be. It would be a vision for people and not just words. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you sit back and talk about equity in the community, if you can't bring a blueprint of what equity look like, then you just saying words just to sound popular, just to shoot. You just saying shit. But if you're not showing what equity looks like, if you can't give us a blueprint and put it in front of somebody so they can deny it, then you're not talking about nothing to me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sis?
Yes, I do.
Let me give you a perfect example, if you don't mind.
But you're balanced to that. You get what I mean? Like, we know, but they win if they keep taking all the positive, all the restoration that you put back in, all the financial you help with your community. I mean, you sit here, you tell everybody how to get into their stocks and trading and getting properties and things like that. It's not always this. It's not always politics. It's not always shooting. So when you take away a valuable part, to us, it breaks the family. It puts a hole in the foundation of what you're trying to build. So that's why I was just trying to
I did this wrong. I did this wrong, sis. I announced it. I said that I wasn't going to do it anymore. I should have just stopped, because it's people like you that I love and respect. And we bounce up against the wall. We tongue wrestle and all that shit.
But it's much respect and much love all the time.
And you the type that's going to make me, see, I don't like this shit, because you're going to talk me into this. And I'm ready to.
I don't want to talk you into it. I just want you to understand that you are the community. And when you have your listeners every day, that tune in. I mean, you're the only person that's very inconsistent, but still have the numbers. That means you're valuable. Like, we went from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock to 1 o'clock, but we followed you. You know why? It wasn't because of popularity. It's that the love we have for you. Like, okay, you shift, we shift. And that's what you call a leader. You get what I mean? So everybody else have to do that 3 o'clock spot or that 11 o'clock spot. You don't have to. This is a choice. Like you said, you don't get paid for this, but if you need a rest, take it, but don't go. You know what I mean? Like, don't go. You have, just like your daughters, they need you. Your wife, they need you. We're family at this point. Like, you can't just up and bounce on us.
You're killing me, sis. I shouldn't have took your call.
Just rethink it. Just rethink it. That's all I call for.
I should not have taken this call. I knew I shouldn't have done it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But I'm always going to keep it real with you. You inspired a lot. And I seen even podcasts built after you made a podcast, just because of the family that you created. It's very positive. Even though all the cussing, we look forward to things like that in our day, and if it's no longer here, that's like a death in our family. This is what we do. This is how we communicate. Even the fights that happens, the respect that's still there at the end is what matters. So even with your choice, I'm okay with it either way. I just feel like this is what happens. This is what we don't need to happen, because they will always win. They always win. They always do. The liars, the fakes, the frauds, the chaos agents, like you said, like you bring it to the light, but then they take over because now our foundation is broken. One of our main people that's out there exposing the truth is gone. It's like they silenced, I don't know how else to put it to you, but if you can rethink it, do that. I just don't want to talk you into anything, but you will be greatly missed, but you're more needed now than ever. You're more needed now when our communities are shook. We're shook. We're shook.
Well,
Those are babies.
I appreciate it, sis. I really do.
Okay.
I just, I think I need a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been there
And that's
before.
okay.
I've been there before. It's just that I want everybody to understand that I've never given up on anything. It's not me giving up. There comes a point in time where you just say to yourself, like, I'm tired. I'm tired of
Mhm.
fighting. I mean, sometimes I'll be honest with you. I mean, I feel like a preacher talking to the choir sometimes. I respect
Mhm.
everybody that comes on here and they get it. But sometimes your message, it's like when they go up to the school at Woodward High School to talk about the street crime violence. Do you think the people
Mhm.
that's committing the crimes and the violence and shooting the grandmamas and the babies, the 11-year-olds, do you think those are the ones that are in there listening to what's being talked about?
But this is the thing, Wyatt. Now that you bring that up, you never know how far you reach people because they don't talk about that part. What's more important is who's out here with the violence. You know that's what captures the news and the press and things like that. They're never going to say Wyatt saved at least one. You've been in my family for 3.5 years, and I can name every time you step foot for one of my relatives that I've directed to you. Even people that I'm in business with that I directed to you, you know of it, but it don't get out there and shined out, and that's why it's not that people need to hear, oh, you did good, look what why you did, things like that, but it motivates you to keep pushing because people have to fill you back up with the positive versus overflowing you with the negative. So that's why I called. Like I didn't even want to talk about AFTAB, none of that. None of that is important right now. I'm just saying we need our leader. I consider everybody is not a leader in my world, that I see. And very rare do I find a man that I will say, oh, he's a great leader.
Well, I appreciate it,
So
sis.
I will fight and I will speak to you and say your leadership is still needed in our community, in the city of Cincinnati. I don't want them to win. I wish that you go and, lick your wounds and band-aid and whatever you need to do, but come back strong. Come back strong. Don't stay gone.
All right. Let me give.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it, sis. I'm gonna talk.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to you
You
later.
have a
You
blessed
can't.
day.
You got me on here looking crazy and
Okay.
shit.
All right.
All
Love
right,
you.
sis.
Well, I
Love you
think
too.
your listeners agree.
All right.
And all right. Talk
I'm
to
gonna
you
give
soon.
one more
Bye.
piece of leadership advice on my way up out of here, and this is me signing off. I'm gonna give you this advice right here, if you don't mind. I heard a lot of people talking about downtown value of property not, they pushing the black people out of the neighborhood. Um, this, and that in Cincinnati. I want to give you a piece of advice right now to my real go-getters. I want y'all to look at something. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you call a leader. Be careful. Be careful who be careful who you follow. Let me just say this economically, okay? An economic piece of advice to you all. Cincinnati has valuable property. You need to obtain it. My people, you need to obtain it. You can go all the way up Baltimore Avenue, go up Baltimore Hill, and work your way down. There's a ton of buildings, ton of homes, ton of land between the top of where English Woods was. Work your way all the way down and go buy some of those tore up pieces of property, those old homes. Buy that land, buy those houses. Find out if they're auction homes. Stop waiting for somebody else to come pick it up. 3CDC or someone else. Stop waiting for what y'all want to say, the rich people. The white rich people that don't give a shit about you. That's what you want to call it. You're going to wait for them to take that land. You're going to wait for them to take them homes. You're going to wait for them to turn them into condos. You're going to wait for them to turn that into a strip situation of riches. And then you're going to turn around and say they pushed you out of your neighborhood. Stop being a creature of habit and then being a chaos agent at the end of it. It's not a good look. And for some odd reason, we've been conditioned to, that's the answer to the problem. It's always the past. If you look at the future, nobody can take you out of the pit. You can't be taken out of future. Future is created. You set your own future by the things that you do now. Now is the future. If you let the past dictate your future, your past will be your future. You'll sit back and talk about they ain't letting me, they can't let me, I won't get this, I can't do this and this and this and that, because you stuck in a time where you possibly couldn't do it. When I was in Cincinnati, I counted all the buildings from the top of Baltimore Avenue all the way down to the end where the street separates down by McDonald's. And I wrote it down. I found 17 industrial buildings, 72 homes. Out of the 72 homes, more than half of them were abandoned. Y'all talk about black community. Black folks, we have no community unless we own the community. You got to own the land, own the dwelling, own the building. You have to own it to consider it yours. Stop saying what they won't let us do and go do it. Just go do it. I'm going to take this call because this is someone that stuck with me all the way through this. And he calls from Atlanta. So I'm going to take this call from my brother. Good afternoon. This is Wyatt. Is this Sean?
Yes, it is. How you doing, brother?
Sean Nutter, what's good, man? How you doing, brother?
All right, man. I understand you sound frustrated because that hit close to home, that shooting. But you do a lot for a lot of people. People just don't call in like they should, like I probably should. But I enjoy listening to you talk. I enjoy listening to you. Your knowledge. I'm a little bit older than you. I'll be 59 next week, and you have enlightened me, and you've given me a lot of knowledge that I'm using and will be using. So age don't have nothing to do about it, brother. You are a very smart young man, and I wish I'd have met you about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I wish I would have been doing this 10, 15 years ago, to be honest
You
with you.
know,
That would have been
I mean,
good.
when I found out and when I first heard you talk, and I want to know what is it that you do that people around here sound like they jealous of? Because one, you're not an elitist. You're far from that.
Well, that's coming from from someone that understands. Everybody don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying, Sean? The people who want your spot or think that you have something that they can't obtain, they'll make up names and call you things. If they can't sustain their position in life, then the next goal, the thing that makes them feel validated is when they take your credibility away or take something away from somebody else. I'll give you a perfect example. I stepped into a profession one time. It was a professional sports profession. And when I got there, I wasn't as knowledgeable of the sport as I am business at hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that could take away a little bit of your credibility. But what a lot of people don't understand is there's not much difference from selling hamburgers than selling roast beef sandwiches. I mean, business is business. The books are the books. You see what I'm saying? Right. Or running an ice cream stand. It's all the same. The principles of business don't change. But what happens is when you get somebody that can devalue your credibility or devalue your worth, that's what they go after when they can't find value in what they're doing themselves.
Right. Right. It's just like you when you lose an argument, now they want to call you out your name instead of sticking to the point of the argument.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I go through that a lot. Listen, I'm in I'm going to be honest and say this, Sean, because you're in Atlanta. So I feel comfortable saying this to you.
Oh, yeah.
I feel comfortable saying this to you right here. I'm stationed. I live in Florida now, but in the wintertime, I come home. Okay. Um, the show is basically stationed in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a Democratic city. Democrats aren't used to being talked to this way. They're not used to their leadership being challenged. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you're like the mayors, all the mayors and all the leadership and all the black leaders, see, they're sitting back talking about equity in this railroad sale. And then here this guy comes by and tell them what y'all talking about don't mean shit. These people don't care nothing about you. And it's your own Democrats that don't care. Black folks are talking about we getting $1.6 billion for a railroad. And to be honest with you, you're not getting shit because your same administration you vote for don't value you. And when somebody says that to you, bro, they don't like hearing that truth. And that makes me that makes me the oddball or the black sheep or whatever you want to call it. You know, facts can hurt feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed your show. I just hope maybe you just need a sabbatical and just take some time off. But I'm definitely going to, I'm still part of the family, man.
Oh, for sure.
I really do, man. I enjoy the money talks. I enjoy the political talks. I enjoy some of the back and forth. I enjoy you and Emmanuel, and you cats are hilarious. And I listen to both sides, and that's what I like. I think I'm pretty much maybe I have a lot of I'm not necessarily liberal, but I have a lot of conservative ways.
Most black folks do,
ways.
brother. Black folks are more conservative than we give ourselves credit to be. We believe in family, God, and we love one, and we love. And that's what conservative ways are. But what happens, brother, is sometimes people affiliate they affiliate conservative. They call us names because of our stance on certain policies. And it's just I think that's the disconnect right there.
Yeah, I believe so as well. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up, bro.
All right, brother.
But if you decide to get back on and continue, please keep me in mind and let me know. But I'll be on the lookout for you.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm praying for you.
Let me ask you, Sean. Well, I appreciate the prayers. I really do. Let me ask you. When I come on, do you get a notification, or do you just wait for 1 o'clock and just try to find me?
I get a notification and I try to find you.
Okay.
So whether you on or whether you come on at 1 o'clock or 1:15 or 1:30, whatever it is, because I understand your job comes first, just like with Emmanuel. I look for you anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
You part of my afternoon.
Oh,
I don't know how.
Yeah. All right, Sean. I gotta go, man. Y'all killing me. Y'all can't do that. All right.
Man.
I gotta
But
go,
you
brother.
Take care, bro.
Peace and love.
Take care.
Peace and love to you, brother. See, I shouldn't have took a call. I should have just pieced y'all the hell out. I can't stand that. I can't stand it because it's true. Like I've told you guys a long time ago how much criticism I get in the back. I get a lot of blowback. And then I'll say, look, I'll get 10 badass messages telling me I ain't shit and this and this and that. And then I'll get one. And it'll eliminate all those bad messages for me. I'll say one thing and I'll read one message that cleaned up the whole 10 to 12 bad messages that I just got. And y'all would be surprised who those messages come from. I know some of them are made up accounts, but I can tell what they're mad at, what direction it's coming from. Do you get what I'm saying to you? I can tell when people are mad at me about saying something about a certain politician. When I say something about a certain politician, I can tell it's either them or it's somebody that's capping for them or taking up for them or whatever. I can always tell. Or I can always tell. It's not the hardest thing in the world to find to figure out once you read the messages. And it's cool. I'm not tripping on it. I'm really not tripping on it. It's just that, guys, I'm a little tired of fighting. I'm a little tired of being that bad guy. You understand? I didn't say what I had to say. I didn't prove a whole lot. I'm just in a space right now where I just feel like no matter what I say, nothing's going to change. I feel like I'm listening to the new voices that's coming on, and radio ain't getting no better, y'all. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. The Radio One promotes ignorance to my black people. They promote ignorance. They have Al Sharpton. They promote. They have people that haven't lived a life, that haven't experienced anything. They push race baiters. They show they give false equivalence to points, and people eating that shit up. I ain't got time for that. I really don't have time to battle shit like that. I don't like battling shit like that, because what it looks like to the blind eye or to somebody that's been conditioned, it looks like I'm fighting against my own people. I'm just fighting a point. If white people was doing, or Asian people was saying those same things, I would have the same fight in me about that. But it's my own people. It's my own folks. And that's what really puts me out of pocket. I told y'all 3.5 years ago, I'm not a radio dude. I don't have a schedule I have to keep with my conversation. I don't have to, if you report me, you gonna report me to me. I don't say things to be, I don't bring my information or my points, or I don't bring them up to be liked. I don't bring them up to be disliked. But a lot of people give you information and talk all this misplaced information. They talk that shit because that's how they get paid. They get paid to misdirect you, make you emotional. And you got to understand, it hurts me to death. I started my platform because of them. I reached out to damn near everybody that was on the radio locally. Those that are there now, I probably didn't reach out to them because they can't involve themselves with somebody like me. I didn't talk about their boss. I talked about the lady that started Radio One, or who bought it, or whatever. I've talked about her. She then came in and attacked Florida. She ain't said shit about Ohio. She ain't said nothing about Michigan. She ain't said nothing about none of these other states. Do y'all notice that she don't say anything about Florida anymore? You know why? For the same reason why I told you she was talking about Florida in the first place. She thought DeSantis was going to mess around and beat Trump and be the nominee for the Republican Party for president. They only attacked him, DeSantis, because he was the backup guy to Trump. Now that he's so far back in the polls and they ain't really concentrating on him, she ain't got nothing to say about Florida anymore. My last straw, I've been done for a while. My last straw was when I watched Al Sharpton and the NAACP go after Florida and do that travel ban to a state that has the number one rated entrepreneurship for black people. So you telling black folks not to come to Florida when when we're the number one state for black entrepreneurship. The number one. The number two for female entrepreneurship. But you and Al Sharpton and the NAACP then told black folks it's a travel ban. We got all this killing going on in our black inner cities, period, ran by Democrats, and not one time have y'all put a travel ban. Not one time have you travel banned San Francisco, Chicago. Uncle Al in the perm in the suit ain't been to Chicago, and you got people all over the place living on the streets, Black folks being displaced, black folks being overlooked by the city council. They up there trying to get $5 billion for some illegal immigrants. They ain't never went after $5 billion for black folks. That's fake leadership, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fight them. I can't compete with Uncle Al and all these old national shows. I can't compete with that nonsense. So all I can do is tell a few, and maybe those few will tell a few more. But when I'm watching in my own city, my homegrown city, and shit ain't getting better, they still talking, and you don't see any Republicans running for city council. Out of 9 spots, you got 10 people running. I think Liz Keaton is the only Republican that's running for the Republican Party. I see a problem with that. I see hands up. We give up whatever Cincinnati doing and talking about. Fuck it. And I'm going to tell you something. When powerful people, when money getters, when people who control the money throw their hands up and say, hey, go ahead and do what you want to do, that's a red flag. That flag is as red as my sweatshirt. That tells me some shit ain't right. That tell me right then and there some shit ain't right. When people give up and don't care, something's not right. And that's what I see right now. That's exactly what I see. Somebody said, can I answer something? Alethea said, please answer. Adonna, I tried. Your phone keep cutting out. I done answered you 3 times and it keep going out. Somebody said that's what them Obama phones do. I want to do this one last thing before I get out of here, okay? Let me just do this for you. I made something up. I said something, okay, about reparations. And I say to my people, stop following these fake ass leaders that talk about reparations. Black folks, we're not ready for reparations, even if they handed you a check. You're not ready for it. You got to learn how money move, learn how money work before you get a check from anybody. Because all that's going to happen is they're going to give you some money and they're going to take it right back in ways you don't know how it's going to be taken. So if you understand what I mean by that, you'll take it with appreciation. If you don't, then just call me the hater that you think I am. But the truth of the matter is, these are just talking points. They're not going to give you reparations. Black folks, you have no reparations coming in the form of a check. But if you listen to me, like I told these people in Cincinnati, what does y'all hollering about the railroad and reparations? What does reparations look like to you? Don't just talk it and sound slick and nice and groovy about it. Tell me what put a package plan together of what reparations look like. Nobody did that. Because now you would have an argument like, man, we put all this work in, we did this, we did that. They ain't even listening to us. I gave you a gem on what to do with the reparations. You want reparations, you go get black banking. You bring black banks into Cincinnati. Black banks do loans. They do business loans, they do mortgages. They do loans. They have savings accounts. You build credit, you build lines of credit. I'm going to give you one last gem when it comes to the money game. We got to learn how to use other people's money to make money. You never hear that coming from the Democratic Party. All they want you to do is believe you owed some money. But they never show you how to flip money. They never tell you how to get to the money. The only money they want you to have is the money that they willing to go get you, pacify you. They ain't never sitting back telling you how to be an entrepreneur or show you how to get to the money. You know why? Because they the politicians. The politicians want to keep you in place. They use this word called democracy. Democracy means there's just one leader. Y'all vote for the leader. You got the right to vote. That's democracy. You ever notice that this one particular group keep using the word democracy? That's the new 2020 something word. Yeah, that's the new word that's the key word where if you learn that word and they teach it to you a certain way, you'll understand that, the democracy is what we after. I heard Al Sharpton debating this white dude on a podcast, and Al Sharpton was arguing. Perm in a suit was arguing with this man, and he thought he had him. He thought he had him in a gotcha moment. Al Sharpton told this man that we losing our democracy. The white dude looked at him and said, "What are you talking about?" Al Sharpton looked at him again. He said, "See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all don't never know what it is to be like this, blah, blah. America is losing its democracy." He said, "Mr. Sharpton, we don't live in a democracy." Al Sharpton said, "Say what, John?" He was permed out too. "You say what, John? Say what?" The man said, "Mr. Sharpton, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic." Al Sharpton said, "So what you saying?" He don't get it. He's sharp in his areas, but he don't know. He don't get it. He's been around and he's been a slick tongue. He's been a perm in a suit for a long time, and he know what he know. But there's a huge difference between a republic and a democracy. Al Sharpton thinks we live in a democracy in America. We live in a republic, which gives you the right to vote in a democracy. The republic is a free nation. Democracy allows you to have the freedom to vote. Al Sharpton don't know this type of shit. All he know how to do is create chaos, stick to a verb, and push it. That's what he know how to do. That's what we've learned to fall to. He'll find a talking point, and he hammers it. Folks, that's part of the burnout in me. Part of my burnout is the fake leadership and the people that we've turned to all these years. When I went hard on Black Lives Matter, that's why my viewership went down. He don't like Black Lives. No, I seen the hustle. I know that these three ladies didn't have DEI resources. That was big money over and beyond the money that they could even come to the table with. I watched a white liberal man run that scheme using 3 black women. Nobody wanted to really address that. I watched local politicians go to jail and come out and say, "Fuck Trump." I mean, the shameful have no shame. It's amazing to me. I've seen people who they have supported, who manipulated the black community for votes, told the black community, "I got you," manipulated the black leadership. And when this man getting caught by the FBI, I seen what we call black leadership sit there and act like no way this man is possible of doing this shit. I can't fight your local Cincinnati leadership. I'm not even trying to fight them. I ain't trying to compete with them. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna go out on this. I watched the podcaster start his podcast after he got released from the radio station. I watched him give everybody what they wanted. I watched him praise the Cincinnati city council, all of the black ones that was coming up. I watched all that shit. I watched him praise them. I watched him help them get votes. I watched a lot of shit. I watched him agree and say shit that wasn't black cultural. It wasn't good for the culture. I watched him. He said everything they needed to hear, kept him relevant on the air. And at the end of the day, they didn't support him enough for him to be able to afford to stay on. So I'm never going to go out against my morals and my principles, because you don't have enough money to make me say or do some shit that I don't believe in. And I don't respect anybody that'll stay on the air or stay somewhere because they bought and paid for it, and the only way they can be successful is to sacrifice other people. I don't respect that. Never will, never have, and never will. My time. See y'all when I see. Peace and love to everybody, man. It's been 100. Motherfuckers say that I'm foolish, I only talk about Jews. Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? See, I'm influenced by the ghetto you ruined. The same dude you gave nothing, I made something doing what I do through and through. And I give you the news with a twist is just his ghetto point of view. The renegade, you've been afraid. I penetrate pop culture, bring them a lot closer to the block where they pop toasters and they live with their moms. Got drop roasters from botch robberies, niggas crotched over. Mommy's knocked up cause she wasn't watched over. Knocked down by some clown when child support knocked. No, he's not around. Now how that sound till you jot it down? I bring it through the ghetto without riding round, hiding down, ducking strays from frustrated youth stuck in their ways. Just read a magazine that fucked up my day. How you rate music that thugs with nothing relate to it? I help them see they way through it, not you. Can't step in my pants, can't walk in my shoes. Bet everything you worth, you lose your tie and your shirt.
Since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician, but I'll kick it with them a minute. Cause see, they call me a menace. And if the shoe fits, I wear it. But if it don't, then y'all will swallow the truth, grin and bear it. Now who's the king of these rude, ludicrous, lucrative lyrics? Who could inherit the title? Put the youth in hysterics, using his music to steer it, sharing his views and his merits. But there's a huge interference. They're saying you shouldn't hear it. Maybe it's hatred I spew, maybe it's food for the spirit. Maybe it's beautiful music I made for you to just cherish. But I'm debated, disputed, hated, and viewed in America as a motherfucking drug addict. Like you didn't experiment, nah. That's when you start to stare at who's in the mirror and see yourself as a kid again. And you get embarrassed, then I got nothing to do but make you look stupid as parents. You fucking do good, it's too bad you couldn't do good at marriage. And do you have any clue what I had to do to get here? I don't think you do, so stay tuned and keep your ears glued to the stereo. Cause here we go. He's chicken, and I'm the sinister Mr. Kiss my ass is just a renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything. Anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything. I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles, pockets filled with a lot of lint, not a cent, got a vent, lot of innocent lives lost on the project bench. What you hollering? Gotta pay rent, bring dollars in. By the bodega, iron under my coat, feeling braver. Do-rag rapping my waves up, pockets full of hope. Do not step to me, I'm awkward. I box lefty or often. My pops left me an orphan. My mama wasn't home. Could not stress to me, I wasn't grown. Especially on nights I brought something home to quiet the stomach rumblings. My demeanor, 30 years my senior. My childhood didn't mean much. Only raising green up. Raising my fingers to critics. Raising my head to the sky. Big, I did it. Multi before I died. No lie, just know I chose my own fate. I drove by the fork in the road and went straight.
See, I'm a poet to some, a regular modern day Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the king of these Latter-day Saints here, to shatter the picture in which of that as they paint me as a monger of hate and Satan, a scatterbrained atheist. But that ain't the case. See, it's a matter of taste. We as the people decide if Shade is as bad as they say he is, or is he the latter, a gateway to escape, media scapegoat who they can be mad at today. See, it's as easy as cake, simple as whistling Dixie, while I'm waving the pistol at 60 Christians against me. Go to war with the Mormons, take a bath with the Catholics in holy water. No wonder they try to hold me under longer. I'm a motherfucking spiteful, delightful, eyeful, the new Ice Cube. Motherfuckers hate to like you, what did I do? I'm just a kid from the gutter making his butter off these bloodsuckers. Cause I'm a motherfucking renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything.
Renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk about anything. Renegade.
Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything. So I just got a message that said Sagittarius are always bailing out on you. Alethea is really trying to make me feel guilty. It almost worked. I want to thank everybody for those 2 years.
What you cooking, man?
Love everybody on that.
They can't believe that them niggas returned. We the one that the bitches prefer. In the club we party until we get sweaty. In the eyes I can see that lil' mama been ready. On my dick doing biz with Liz Claiborne. Politics, I been rich so I could pay for it. Dr. J in the bank, scoring title in the paint. Ray Kroc on my block, double cut my purple drink. They watching me close, even reading my lips. Busting the 4-5, then I'm pleading the 5th. And I'm leaving as if that's a meeting I missed. Such a wonderful time, even blew him a kiss. Timberland rich, 250 a beat. Used to see his new crib, even came with the street. Still be touching the white, talking that bubble spark. Cause it got a double R on it if it's one of us. Run along, boy, if you don't want a war. I got a prize, motherfucker, it's the Pulitzer. Whoop. Whoop. It's Pharaoh De Niro. They say that the flow is facetious. Fat boy, you keep feeling the bleachers. Went from selling yayo in the nosebleeds. Young niggas only got rich with the wrong things. I'm thankful for melodies that the song bring. Rhyming longer than prison sentences in New Orleans. My nigga did a dub, now he out the fed. Shit is hard to feel the love when you taking meds. Them Percocets, they had me on the ledge. 20 million cash, yes, that's called success. 1,000 acres, my own metropolis. And he still hustle with dominance. Niggas faking, I could tell by the pics. Instagram should take down your page for all those counterfeits. Getting money is still booby gang. No colors, no flags, just let the toolie bang, bang.
How you doing?